Just the qualities that are essential for somebody in a leadership role. I think it's important to grow into a particular role with the right characteristics and the right qualities.
The royal family is in turmoil, and Prince William is fighting back tears as a shocking statement rocks the monarchy to its foundation. What did Princess and confess that left William shaken and placed the crown's future in jeopardy? Stay with us. This revelation could change everything you believed.
She believes too heavily in instruction. She believes in finding your own path, but with very good examples and guidance around you to support you.
What began as a typical, peaceful day at Balmoral quickly turned into something far from normal. Inside one of the castle's quiet rooms, something unexpected was about to unfold. Normally, Balmoral is a serene escape, hidden in the hills and far from public attention. It's where Queen Elizabeth often spent her summers and where some of the most personal royal moments took place in secret. But this day was different. The calm was gone. Behind the thick stone walls, tension hung in the air. A rare family meeting had been called. That in itself raised eyebrows. At Balmoral, full gatherings usually signal major news. Everyone was there: King Charles, Camilla, William, Kate, and more top royals. The mood was tense, rigid, like something serious was about to break, but no one knew what. Then Princess Anne stood up. She doesn't speak often unless it's necessary, and when she does, she commands attention. After clearing her throat, she revealed something that changed the tone of the entire room. It was a message the late Queen had quietly shared with her. A final wish that Catherine, Princess of Wales, should one day rule as Queen, not just as William's wife, but as a strong, independent monarch in her own right. Her own throne, her own power. The words stunned everyone. Silence followed. King Charles's expression shifted immediately. After spending decades preparing to rule, learning that his mother may have imagined a different path forward likely shook him deeply. This wasn't just sentiment. It felt like a direct challenge. A challenge to the crown's direction. A challenge to history. A question of legacy, power, and the face of the future monarchy.
I've been very lucky. My mother was the Queen for a very long time. And although you kind of know that this might happen, you don't really think about it very much. Not least of all because the monarchy is about continuity. But I think for my brother, this is something he's been waiting for. And he's probably spent more time thinking about it.
And spoke plainly, without emotion, but her words carried weight. She reminded the room of Catherine's rising popularity, her composure in difficult moments, and the calm strength she's shown while under constant public pressure. And said Queen Elizabeth had respected Catherine's quiet resolve, her grace, while carrying the expectations of today's royal life. As Anne spoke, everyone looked at William. Usually composed and sure of himself, he suddenly seemed unsure. He stared at the floor, breathed deeply, and paused. This wasn't a small thing. If Catherine was being considered not just as his partner, but as a monarch in her own right, it raised hard questions. What did that mean for him? For his future? It wasn't envy, it was duty. He knows how the world sees them. He's seen the attention she draws, the affection people show her. He's read the headlines and heard the praise. But hearing it said clearly, with the late Queen's name behind it, made it real. In that silent Balmoral room, something shifted. No argument, no raised voices, just a truth that had waited to surface. And yet, it wasn't only Queen Elizabeth's words that stirred tension. William's response said everything.
I take duty very seriously. I take my responsibilities very seriously. But it's about finding your own way at the right time. And if you're not careful, duty can sort of weigh you down an awful lot at a very early age. And I think you've got to develop into the duty role.
Prince William had long been the picture of calm. He was taught to remain composed in public, bearing the crown's burden without faltering. Yet after Princess Anne's revelation at Balmoral, that composed facade began to crack. The impact hit him harder than anyone anticipated. The notion that his late grandmother held a different plan for the crown wasn't merely surprising, It questioned everything he believed about his destiny. Beneath the courteous nods and controlled faces, William wrestled with inner turmoil. His role had always been defined: heir apparent, future monarch, the one destined to lead the crown into a new age. But this disclosure clouded that certainty. If Queen Elizabeth's last wish truly elevated Catherine beyond a mere supportive partner, what implications did that have for him? Was his authority being undermined? Or was it simply the public's growing confidence in Catherine? William remained mostly silent, yet those near him sensed the burden. His shoulders drooped slightly, his gaze fixed on Catherine across the room. Not with resentment, but with doubt. The man who'd stood firm through scandals, public scrutiny, and personal grief was visibly unsettled, and the room's reactions only intensified the tension. Catherine maintained a calm demeanor, but she too couldn't overlook the shift. The atmosphere around her changed. People saw her in a new light, not just as William's spouse, but as a potential sovereign in her own right. This subtle change carried immense significance in the royal family, where even minor shifts in perception bear weight. Camilla, on the other hand, appeared noticeably uneasy. As queen consort, she'd fought hard for public and family acceptance. Now, this quiet sidelining served as a reminder that, while Camilla held the current title, public opinion, and possibly even the late queen herself, were already looking forward. Then there were the younger royals. Prince Harry, though largely distanced from official duties, wouldn't ignore what this meant. Any major shifts in succession or titles could directly affect his children's standing. Tensions between the brothers were already fragile. This new development threatened to deepen those divides. Though the room seemed calm, everyone sensed change, and all eyes turned to the one who could command authority, King Charles. Yet Charles faced his own challenges. His ongoing battle with cancer had limited his public appearances in recent months. Behind closed doors, he attended treatments, rested more, and scaled back his duties. Having waited nearly his entire life to ascend the throne, he now fought simply to maintain his role. Both physically and emotionally, Charles valued tradition and continuity. He viewed his reign as a bridge linking his mother's legacy to his son's future. But hearing Queen Elizabeth might have preferred Catherine's leadership was difficult to accept. It raised questions not only about succession, but also about the monarchy's future direction as desired by the public. As the family met to discuss what lay ahead, it became clear no one fully controlled the moment.
My family was the sovereign, and we, as a family, don't own this place. It doesn't belong, and it's not as if we're making money out of it. This is what annoys me so much about so much that's written in the media.
With King Charles slowly stepping back due to his health, Prince William is no longer preparing for the future. He's already living it. His responsibilities have increased across the board, from leading royal ceremonies to handling international visits and managing the day-to-day presence of the monarchy. William's role is expanding rapidly. He's not just filling in for his father. He's actively shaping how the monarchy presents itself in this new era. There's a noticeable shift in how he's carrying himself, more direct, more visible, more willing to lead, and yet the pressure that comes with that change is immense. Behind closed doors, William is navigating a family under strain. Between Charles's illness, the tension between Catherine and Camilla, and the lingering divide with Harry, William is caught in the middle of competing expectations. He's trying to maintain unity in a family that's been through one storm after another, all while preparing to wear the crown sooner than he might have expected. And on top of all that, he's still a husband and father. He's trying to protect his family's peace and privacy while also standing under the spotlight of royal duty. Balancing the public and the personal has never been more difficult. He knows the world is watching. Every move he makes now is seen as a glimpse into the future of the monarchy. The public wants to see strength, but also compassion, stability, but also evolution. William is trying to deliver all of that, but at what personal cost? Still, as the weight on William grows, one figure in the palace is facing her own uncertain road ahead: Queen Camilla. Camilla's path into the royal family was never smooth. She faced years of public criticism, judgment, and comparisons. But over time, She earned a place of trust beside Charles. Her role as queen consort was meant to be a symbol of that journey, of acceptance, of quiet strength, of loyalty. But now that role feels more fragile than ever. Queen Elizabeth's final wish casts a shadow over Camilla's position. For someone who fought so long for recognition, it's a painful twist. Her place beside the king is still official, but emotionally and symbolically, things have shifted. There's also tension with Catherine. While both women have kept things civil in public, insiders say their relationship has had its challenges. Now, with Catherine being seen as a potential queen in her own right, that dynamic could grow more strained. For Camilla, the fear isn't just about titles, it's about legacy. Will she be remembered as a supportive consort who helped Charles during transitional figure, quietly sidelined as the crown moves toward the younger generation? As the monarchy repositions itself for the future, these personal stakes are becoming harder to ignore. The palace may appear polished on the outside, but inside, there are real concerns about what comes next. And as the drama continues to unfold, one thing is becoming more obvious. The royal family is changing. The old structure is being challenged not just by health and age, but by legacy, loyalty, and the public shifting expectations. So, what do you guys think of Queen Elizabeth's final wish? Is it fair to Catherine or a threat to the royal structure? And do you think Prince William is ready to lead through the storm? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next big update.